is not a crime, and I say that respectfully. I truly appreciate the time to the genuine ones with no malicious intentions. Always be yourself. You can't be nobody else, and I say that respectfully. Neighbor, 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 say you love yourself. Neighbor, 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 say you love yourself. Neighbor, 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 you say you love yourself. Oh, it's looking real good on you. Understanding confidence. Don't get lost in someone's words. Don't get lost in someone's words. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. Hold on 1 second, neighbor, 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 neighbor. Self-reflection. You understood self-destruction. You know how it feels to lose yourself. Only to regroup to better yourself. Understand at the end of the day, I wasn't giving up on myself because someone projected pain on me. At the end of the day, one-sided, wearing the mask. At the end of the day, misery loves company. They was disturbing the wrong person's peace. When it came to the wrong person's door, how that returned back to sender, went back to sender. My content is not for everybody. It's not. Always be yourself. They said you whack, you corny, you ain't nobody. They said you whack, you corny, you ain't nobody. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. Oh, wow. It was you. Allow me your dreams to come true. Being your authentic self to love you. Go neighbor, 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 neighbor. Love yourself to better yourself. Never dim your light. Love yourself to better yourself. Never dim your light. Yeah, you matter here. You are worthy. Never dim your light. And I say it respectfully. Moving accordingly. Never dim your light. Moving accordingly. Never dim your light. Hold on 1 second. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. That's what happens at the end of the day. When you understand your lane at the end of the day. Believing in your faith. You know how it feels to be in that dark depression. Folks can relate to your pain. You didn't reject yourself another day. Allowing your identity not to have a crisis. That's what folks allows you to believe at the end of the day. That you don't love yourself. Hold on 1 second. Willing and able to better yourself, to understand yourself, reflect, not to lose yourself in someone else's words. The energy is different. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. They would never understand what it feels to be rejected because of your sexual orientation at the end of the day. You wasn't trying to hurt nobody with pain. You just wanted to be your authentic self in your lane. You overcame so many obstacles. Only to realize, hold on 1 second. It wasn't a walk in the park to remove that mask. It was wounds that you was hiding from when it came to the world. But you still knew how to respect your neighbor at the end of the day. We are all not the same when it comes to projecting pain. Regardless if you're dealing with homelessness, dealing with depression, anxiety, PTSD, you put a name in your book when it comes to your mental health. You lost everything to start all over. Folks laughed at your pain at the end of the day. It wasn't an even exchange. You know how it feels at the end of the day for folks not to tell you they love you when they play it in your face. They act like they was dead for you, only to shortchange you, to gaslight you, to have malicious intentions, to line you up, psych you with your thought process, your fruit in your pockets, your eyes at the end of the day. But you still knew how to respect somebody. Regardless, at the end of the day, they try to project pain. They swear up and down that you think you're better than somebody because of your sexual orientation at the end of the day. But that's the thought process to me when it comes to dealing with difficult people who be having this one-sided mindset because you believe in your confidence and you don't have to steer someone in the wrong direction because we all don't have malicious intentions towards innocent people at the end of the day. I know how to respect my neighbor even when I can't see. I know how to respect my neighbor even when I can't believe. You ever had that moment when you didn't believe in yourself? You almost lost yourself? That cry out for help. That cry out for help. That cry out for help. A love that nobody will be able to understand. Your love language. They say they hear you, they got your back, but nobody understands you at the end of the day because everybody in the background is judging you. Or because of the fact that you made a mistake. They judging you at the end of the day because you love yourself the proper way, to be your authentic self. You made mistakes. You overcame so many obstacles to better yourself. Hold on 1 second. Do you actually know how it feels to be labeled a number? Do you? For someone to point you out that you need a straight body jacket at the end of the day because you're mentally unstable? All because of your sexual orientation at the end of the day? I knew how to respect my neighbor when I couldn't see. I knew how to respect my neighbor when I couldn't see. Knowing your worth. When the right people walk into your life, they're going to treat you right. They ain't got to disrespect you, and I say that respectfully, regardless of what you've been through. Do you know how it feels to not hear I love you from a child point of view at the end of the day? Then when you speak up for yourself, you was dead wrong and you wasn't trying to catch a case. Childhood trauma was real. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. There's certain folks that heard I love you, but they still felt empty within. Because everybody's walk of life is different. I ain't have to disrespect my neighbor at the end of the day. When I ain't have food in the fridge. I ain't have to disrespect my neighbor at the end of the day. When I ain't even know how to pay my bills. I ain't have to disrespect my neighbor at the end of the day. Yeah, that relationship didn't work out. But I ain't have to crash out. I had to understand self-control. I know what I've been through. Because nobody had my back. So I couldn't lose me another day. The energy is different. Certain folks will never understand what you've been through. Overcame so many obstacles. Not to overlook you. They said that you think you're better than somebody. You're wearing a mask. That's not who you truly are at the end of the day. All you want to talk about is God, 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 God. It'd be the same people trying to line you. Putting you in secret competition at the end of the day because they see potential within you. I knew how to respect my neighbor, but hold on 1 second. It's kind of funny how folks will play you close, acting like they're so invested into your time and day, only to hold on 1 second. It took a whole group of people to go against one person, or because someone had self-control, to have self-awareness. They wasn't trying to self-destruct at the end of the day. Folks said, I got your back, come on. We gonna do this at the end of the day the right way. You know, when they say I in team. That's so crazy. You was never part of their lane. Because teamwork make the dream work. And I say that respectfully. Especially with folks that's truly for you at the end of the day. Secret competition, nah. Because respect's a two-way street. I don't see you as competition when I want everybody to elevate around me. The energy is different. Regardless of who painted the picture about me, I knew who I truly was. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't dimming my light. Because when someone was trying to project pain, only to realize they was running game. Misery loves company. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. It's not. And that's okay. They said you whack, you're corny, you ain't nobody. They said you whack, you're corny, you ain't nobody. Here she go again. And I said what I said. Here I go again at the end of the day, elevating. At the end of the day, every single day, in the most healthiest way. I ain't have to kick my neighbor down. Even when they didn't want me to believe in my faith. Regardless of what you was going through, neighbor, I knew how to respect you. It's kind of funny when God shows you your enemy. You understood the rejection was truly your protection. They try to line you up. But certain folks was in the background protecting you. When you least expected, because you was truly a good person. Understand at the end of the day that hold on 1 second. People pick and choose who they want to bully. But hold on 1 second. You don't move that way. Because we are all not the same. They quit to judge you because of your sexual orientation. Painting everybody to be the same at the end of the day with hidden agendas. I wasn't trying to catch a case. I just knew how to respect my neighbor. But God works in mysterious ways. Elevate, elevate was part of God's timing. Elevate, elevate was part of God's timing. You know when God picks you up and restores you, God wants you to help your neighbors around you. Show them at the end of the day that you are worthy, regardless who gave up on you, overlooked you during your journey. The disrespect was loud, but hold on 1 second. God truly wants you to smile. I don't play with spoken in a toxic way. I don't worship the devil. Good day, bad day, all misunderstanding day. And I don't have to destiny swipe with nobody. And I say that respectfully. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully. You can't be nobody else but you. They ain't gonna understand your love language, but continue to be true to you. You ain't gotta wear a mask at the end of the day to be somebody you truly not. Because we all not the same when it comes to pain. I know how to respect my neighbor days when they can't even see. I wasn't trying to kick you down, but you tried to discourage me. You trying to pay me off to be somebody I truly wasn't. So I can hate me just like you don't know how to self-reflect to go with it. You only disturbed your own peace because you was moving, operating out the mindset of hate. You know, when you don't want somebody's spot, they would never understand how God created a lane for you. And when God places certain individuals in certain people's life, people would never understand the point of view. Never overlook a blessing, only to realize you was the lesson. You rejected your blessing, only was the end of the day. I sure hope that you find peace within, neighbor, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. Even when you don't make sense to somebody else, you make sense to someone that respects you. You make sense to someone that's truly for you. And I say that respectfully. regardless if you have a disability, regardless of your sexual orientation, your culture, your religion, or your age. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody. When it comes to your world, practice makes perfect. They would never understand why you can get discouraged. You know how it feels to relapse on life itself. You may have to have a substance. They would never understand at the end of it that you truly went thin. You went within. You wasn't trying to be a character at the end of the day, doing it for likes and views to be something that you truly wasn't. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. Peace and respect, your neighbor. Stop the violence. You matter, you're worthy. No, it's the thought process. Me always be yourself and no malicious. I said what I said. Now it's in your love respect. Always be yourself. That relationship, it didn't work out. The right one is going to come into you if they truly respect you. And I say that respectfully. You respect your boundaries, someone's going to respect you to respect your boundaries at the end of the day. Not to step on your toes, to mislead you. And I say that respectfully. You know how it feels to be abandoned. You know how it feels to not be loved. You know how it feels to be disrespected from the folks that were supposed to protect you, show you that you was worthy, but they overlooked you at the end of the day, painting the picture of somebody you truly wasn't. Only to realize, hold on one second. You still stand before yourself today with the right people truly loving you, with no malicious intentions. My content is not for everybody. Healing childhood trauma, going into your adulthood, it's not easy. And it's not a walk in the park. It's a process at the end of the day to actually love yourself, to overcome the pain. It's one day at a time to understand change. You understood the growth at the end of the day. Elevate was part of God's timing. Elevate. Hold on one second. Actions spoke louder than words when you truly held the goal within. You're not running from your past at the end of the day when God closed that door for all the right reasons. You're all not the same, and I say that respectfully. No, you're not wrong for speaking up for yourself. When someone disrespects you, make it feel like you're not worthy. You know how to be respectful. Folks want you to get out of character, but that was their issue. Dealing with people the same way at the end of the day, but that was the reason at the end of the day they made a mistake. Because we're all not the same to get disrespectful. I ain't got to put hands on you at the end of the day to prove a point. Because I ain't trying to catch a case. And I say that respectfully. I was only moving accordingly. Something that you couldn't get in tune with was to understand your self-worth, to understand your growth, to actually love yourself, to better yourself. My content is not for everybody. Leave innocent people alone if you don't understand why someone believes in their faith. You don't understand that someone is not wearing a mask as to who they say that they are. Because we are all not the same when we use the word God. And I say that respectfully. It's funny how when God reveals the enemy in front of an innocent person, certain folks will not be able to understand the confusion and the chaos that's going on in their life. Or let alone, hold on one second. Damn. I should have treated you right. You was right about that person that was trying to line you up. And matter of fact, you wasn't wrong for speaking up for yourself either. Because I would hope someone would help me too. Not to discourage me, let alone imagine someone having that on their conscience. Because we are all not the same. Because I know there's some genuine people out here at the end of the day that if somebody told them something and then he was able to help somebody's life and only realize someone got psyched up their own free will because someone didn't know how to have self-control, I think that would be on someone's conscience. That they could have saved their life. Just like you want someone to save your child's life. You wouldn't want nobody to have malicious intentions towards your baby, regardless of the end of the day, you got them hands. You know how to knuckle up at the end of the day, right to left. You got a good right hook. It's a thought process. I mean, we all not the same. My content is not for everybody, regardless of your sexual orientation. We all don't have to project pain. A person that understands healing, it's not an overnight process. It's not. And it's not a race. But when someone understands self-awareness, not self-destruction, because they already been through it. They already lost themselves. All they want to do is better themselves. Not everybody mean what they say when they say what they mean. They on that healing journey. Because when you're on that healing journey, there's just certain things you're not tolerating. And I say that respectfully. So if I blocked you, it's for a reason. If I said I didn't want you in my life, it was for a reason. I ain't got no hate, but I truly pray for my neighbor. And trust and believe, it's not ill intentions. Because I want everybody around me, even if I didn't know you or not, at the end of the day, truly elevate. Regardless of how they paint the picture me to be. But when God reveals the enemy in front of you, it wasn't a mistake. God revealed the enemy in front of you when it came to that person you're supposed to be talking to. How they was having third-party conversations trying to line you up. Painting a picture of somebody who truly wasn't, all of the project pain at the end of the day, just a run game. Paint you to be mentally unstable, dysfunctional. That you needed a straight body jacket, how you was a weirdo, but that was never the case. They was laughing at your pain because you was homeless. And certain folks can't relate. How you could lose things within a split of a second. Everybody's temporary situation is not the same. Because some people at the end of the day, they could lose everything today or tomorrow. And I say that God forbid, that they would never be the same mentally. Some people get strung out on drugs. Some people get put in situations at the end of the day that their mental state is so far gone. All because of the fact that a one-night stand did them wrong. Or let alone someone line somebody up with malicious intentions. And they would never understand their vision. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. You ever had a moment to get your thoughts together? And realize that one day, things would change. And you were just waiting for that very moment. You didn't give up on you yet. You almost did. But you didn't give up. You matter and you are worthy. They say that you're having a mental crisis when it comes to your sexual orientation. You even feel like psyching yourself out your own free will. You had to regroup to understand your love language, that you are worthy. All you want to do is be yourself, even when the world couldn't relate to you, let alone respect you, let alone love you. My content is not for everybody. It's not. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I'm Naya Genuine Love Respect. I am the original owner of Naya Genuine Love Respect content, and I say that respectfully. No spell work, and I say that respectfully, will stop you from choosing you. And especially when you're showing up for you. They could try to destiny swipe, but they only caught their own case when it came to the spiritual world, and I say that respectfully. No answer, thought about it. Why would you do that? I guess people don't know how the universe actually works. It really be the thought process for me. Energy harvesting on innocent people's energy. Only try to hide your hands to play victim. Then you want to paint somebody at the end of the day just for them to try to catch a case. All because you want to control the narrative of someone else's life at the end of the day because they believe in their faith. You wanted somebody to shut up. You said they was doing too much. Someone understood not to self-destruct at the end of the day. The energy is different. Because we all gotta project the same pain. To have malicious intentions regardless of our sexual orientation. Regardless of your upbringing, we are all not the same. But I know how to respect my neighbor. Good day, bad day, misunderstanding day with no malicious intentions. But when the enemy comes up against me at the end of the day, you showed your cards. I was just in my own lane, being protected by the good God. The energy is different when you truly go within. Always be yourself. You can't be nobody else but you. I don't mean no harm in no shape or form. Because some people are not educated when it comes to the LGBT community, the gay community, the lesbian community. We are all not the same. We all do not represent ourselves the same. We all do not carry ourselves the same way when it comes to disrespecting our neighbors, when it comes to having malicious intentions. And I say that respectfully because a lot of us, at the end of the day, we understand the light of respect and love and peace. And that's why folks swear up and down we think we're better than somebody at the end of the day when we wasn't trying to catch a case, when we just trying to protect our peace. They swear up and down we so privileged, but someone was trying to make sure we was put in the mindset at the end of the day we're supposed to be a victim when it comes to these streets. How folks have so much hate at the end of the day, and that could be their daughter, their loved one, their son. My content is not for everyone. It's not. We are all not the same. Certain folks actually change. When it comes to growth, at the end of the day, ain't a walk in the park and folks not doing it for likes and views alone, clout chasing. When it comes to overcoming pain, it's not. It's some people who've been abandoned. They didn't have a mother and a father in the household. It's some people who had a mother and a father in the household. But because of their sexual orientation, at the end of the day, we was labeled that we was dysfunctional, slow, stupid, and retarded, that we're crazy, we need a straight mental jacket. Why? Because of our sexual orientation, something is mentally unstable up there. That's what they say. Something is wrong with you. How could you actually like the same sex at the end of the day? That's disgusting. But we're not trying to hurt nobody. We love who loves us back. We respect who respects us back. We don't have malicious intentions towards a person who doesn't have malicious intentions towards us. We are all not the same. We're not. An untold story. Someone was just labeled a number. You know how many untold stories when it comes to cases at the end of the day because someone lost their life because they understood the look in the mirror to love themselves right? Regardless, at the end of the day, you felt like they was having an identity crisis because you felt like someone didn't know how to love them properly or someone didn't show up for them to love them properly. That's still a human being at the end of the day. You got doctors, lawyers, teachers, dentists, someone's loved one. That's really respected. And they didn't have to have malicious intentions. It doesn't matter what job title it is. That's somebody's loved one that loves them back. We are all not the same when it comes to having malicious intentions towards children. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. Someone changed their life around. They was incarcerated, doing time. They came home. They understood their identity. They wasn't having a crisis. They came home being a multi-billionaire, helping the community at the end of the day, not kicking nobody down, not discouraging nobody. They wanted everybody to truly elevate. The energy is different because we are all not the same. You know how many untold stories that is too? How many millionaires and billionaires there are when it comes to the community? Or when it comes to people just being successful? We are somebody. We matter too. We ain't gotta hurt nobody. We not trying to cause chaos and confusion, let alone drama. We're not. We don't gotta disrespect you because respect's a two-way street. You made it an issue, saying at the end of the day, we not worthy. My content ain't for everybody, and I say that respectfully. We always was moving accordingly, but we are all not the same at the end of the day. But we understood when someone tried to get us out of character. Some people at the end of the day, yeah, they gonna bark back. But some people at the end of the day understand self-control. But then, You try to get somebody out of character, what they were supposed to do. They wasn't out here starting trouble. The energy is different. It's some people who be starting trouble because they be doing stuff for likes and views, let on cloud chasing. We all not that thirsty, and I say that respectfully because we know how to be our authentic self, something that folks can't relate to. That's why we stand before ourselves today. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully, and that's okay. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. Yeah, they gonna disrespect me because I said what I said, but I still know how to respect my neighbor. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. I would hate for somebody to hurt your baby in the streets at the end of the day, regardless if they're female or male, or regardless if they transition at the end of the day. That's your baby. That's your baby. You brought into this world, regardless of how long you ain't been in your child's life at the end of the day, to show them at the end of the day what love looks like up close in person. But you still had a chance at life to love your child right. Everybody's not the same. Some people kick their children to the curb. And they would never understand what true love looks like up close in person. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't. Because you're supposed to love yourself. You teach your children to be themselves. Regardless if you don't understand, at the end of the day, you show your child that they matter and they are worthy. When the outside world tries to kick them down and discourage them, you always tell them to be themselves. That world outside is going to go against them, have malicious intentions. But that's your baby. You're supposed to protect their smile, not to see them frown. But some folks get lost in their own words because they be in their feelings. Don't know where they went wrong. But it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It's because you don't understand your child's sexual orientation and even have to have malicious intentions at the end of the day. That's your baby. They love you. They respect you. They look at you and say that you ain't do nothing wrong. Even if some of them at the end of the day was probably sexually assaulted. Because someone didn't know how to respect themselves because they lost self-control. Some people don't have an identity crisis because of that. And I say that respectfully. Some people are just trying to find themselves when it comes to their identity. And when you become a certain age, you're just finding you, relating to your love language, to who you are. My content is not for everybody. Respect is a two-way street. I don't mean no disrespect in no shape or form. And if you feel like that, I truly hope that you continue to find peace, neighbor. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Healing trauma and pain is not a race or an overnight process, regardless of your sexual orientation, your disability, your age, or your religion. Stay out of trouble. Peace and respect, send respect your neighbor. Stop the vibe. She matter, you're worthy. Recognizing your smile, truly going within. Hold on 1 second. Protecting your energy at the end of the day. You ain't make a mistake because someone didn't have good intentions. They swear up and down that you think you better than somebody, but she wasn't trying to catch a case. You was just being your authentic self, relating to your love language. Healing trauma and pain is not a race overnight process. Continue to be patient with you. Cause confidence is looking real good on you today. I gotta go, I need a nap. I'm not using your love respect. Always be yourself. My content is not for everybody, but I'm not biased. And I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect somebody because they're the opposite sex of me, and I don't understand them. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that God don't love you either. I'm not gonna disrespect my neighbor and say that. But that's what we endure every single day. Regardless to what community you're from. And I say that respectfully. All because you understand to be your authentic self. Some people don't know how to be their authentic self. Some people are chasing to be someone they truly not. And I truly hope that you find yourself, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. And that's okay. Thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. And I say that respectfully. To the genuine ones with no malicious intentions, protect your energy. You matter, you're worthy regardless of who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. And I say that respectfully. Stop the violence. That goes for everybody. I'm not saying it's you at the end of the day. Are you the one causing it? It's the thought process for me. Peace and respect, your neighbor. Stop the violence. You matter, you're worthy. I gotta go. Always be yourself. Always be yourself. He said you whack. You're corny. You were nobody. That was the confidence that made you somebody. Thank you for your time. I'm Nigel Love Respect. I'm the original owner of Nigel Respect content. Have a good evening. Thank you for your time.